Welcome to the North Omaha Academy of Healthy Living. The Academy offers free educational sessions to help people learn to be healthy. We use the body, mind, and spirit to help you make better health choices. In Eat Well, Live Well, our diet class, we use 3 tools to help you lose weight. Plan, track, review. All these tools should be used after a period of prayer and meditation. This week, we're going to talk about community eating habits. These are the ways we learn to eat when we are in social groups, like church socials, office parties, tailgate parties, or block parties. We talked about family eating habits in another video. The habits you learn in large groups are different enough that we need to spend some time on them all by themselves. Celebrating in large groups has often centered on food. Food makes a gathering more pleasant. Food, especially good food, adds to the enjoyment you have when you're celebrating. This is the natural purpose of food. It's a good thing. Mr. Dick Gregory, who's a comedian, social activist, and nutritionist, has some very important things to say about the role of food in celebration. He says this in the film Soul Food Junkies. He's speaking about the role of soul food in African American celebrations, but it is applicable to all types of food. He says, "What soul food was then is not what soul food is now. The difference when I grew up and now is people had gardens and fresh stuff, and there were no chemicals in the food." Basically, he points out that our relationship with food has not changed. However, food has changed. The food we have a relationship with today is different from the food we had 30, 20, or even 5 years ago. Food is manufactured with more calories and more chemicals. Food is manufactured to make us gain weight. So we have to learn new ways to eat this food. Imagine you go to a party, either at your office or at your block or at your church. Imagine that setting, but let's imagine it from a different angle. Let's try and find all the things in the party that are likely to make you overeat. What would be happening? Well, first there would be an abundance of food. Everybody would make a dish to share, and it would all be laid out on the table ready for you to eat. Now, we've learned from another video that our brains aren't really wired for abundance. We're wired for scarcity. You'd think with so much food we want to be more selective in what we eat, but in the face of such abundance, we tend to eat more. There's also conversation going on. Conversation not only distracts us from how much we are eating, but we see other people eating while they're talking and we want to be like them. There's also alcohol. There's nothing wrong with alcohol. Drink if that's what your preference is. But it's proven that when you drink, you tend to eat more. There's a food imbalance. At a party, there's a lot of fatty meat and high-calorie snacks, and not a big emphasis on nutrition. There's also the pressure to try something because you don't want to offend anybody. Every Christmas, I go to a party of friends where pickled herring is served. I don't like herring, but I feel obligated to eat some. After eating so much, we tend to make up overeating rationalizations such as, "Boy, am I glad I don't do that all the time." This really just serves to justify how much we ate. One I hear frequently at parties is that after-meal fullness is fun. You know what I mean. Someone will sit in a lazy boy, put their hand on their belly, pat it, and say something like, "I must be having a good time. Look how full I am." However, none of these are as amazing as what happens after the party. Despite eating so much, and despite our protestations that we could not eat another bite, in 1 or 2 hours, that's exactly what we do. My brother always said that the reason for Thanksgiving was the after-feast turkey sandwich you had at bedtime. Now let me be clear. I am not saying you should not eat when you celebrate. Let me repeat. It is okay to eat during celebrations. My point is that you should consciously decide how much you want to eat. Don't let these unconscious habits make the decision for you. To begin this process, we need to learn 2 new habits. Having a good time does not mean you have to eat a great amount of food. You can have excess fun without excess food. The question really is, what is the reason for Thanksgiving? Is it to eat a lot of food, or is it to give thanks? Another habit is that eating everything is not necessary. Leftovers are a good thing. So how do you stay on track with your diet when you're going to parties? Plan, track, review. In the past, we have used Plan, Track, Review on a daily basis. It is a good idea to treat social occasions as if they were a single day. In other words, just as you plan, track, review your day, plan, track, review your party. For example, before going to a party, sit down and be quiet for a few moments and meditate. Then plan what you will eat for the event. Even if you don't know everything that will be there, create a tentative plan. How many pieces of cake or pie do you want? Do you want to drink alcohol, and if so, how much? When you get to the party, track down all the food first, before you decide what you want to eat. In a typical buffet line, you don't always know what's at the other end. So in the beginning, you may take things which you don't like because you don't know if there's something better down the line. As we move down the line, using that logic, we tend to take more of everything. If we make an effort to know all the food that's at the party and prioritize what we want to eat, we will tend to eat only that. You can also look for low-calorie snacks that you can eat later on. Having some carrot sticks handy may prevent you from going back for seconds. You can also keep track with a buddy, someone whom can be your ally and help you to stay with your plan. Lastly, don't be afraid to take a few minutes in the middle of the party to sit quietly and remember what you ate. This will help you keep track of everything you ate, and then you will have the ability to decide what you want to eat and not let the food decide for you. Good luck and have a great time at the party.